talking and we said I actually had a different topic to talk about, and Julie's like, "No, we have to cover." And I was like, "You are absolutely right because I know I'm over here already getting ready for the holiday season. I already have my date set for my holiday open house. So it's going to maximize the most wonderful time of the year." All right, Julie, it's all you.
Well, I've got my, my little headband on to get in the mood. And I also have my CEO mode t-shirt because tonight's conversation, you are the CEO, right? You've got to make the plans and then you have to become the employee tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Okay. So that's the idea, right? So as an entrepreneur, as your business owner, you wear a lot of hats. We're also the janitor. We're also the gift wrapper. We're also the postman, all the things. And so tonight is all about the CEO and getting it figured out. And tonight we're also not going to be able to like answer every single thing, right? Holiday training and holiday planning is big. And so depending on where you are in your business, take one piece. Right? You're going to grow on it. You're going to develop it. I've been building my business for 15 years. Terry, she's had what, 6 or 7 open houses?
Well, yeah,
8. Yeah.
seven open houses.
So yeah, this will be 8. Right. So we're all at different places, right? Carrie, this is probably going to be your first one. So don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. Also, as we're talking, take notes if you're in a place where you can do that and write down even your questions. Because I want to go through kind of the big picture and some details, and then open it up for questions. But again, we might not answer every single one tonight. Okay, because it's going to be a process. So here we go. So the first thing is, what are your goals, right? When you think about holidays, especially as a business owner, did you know that most retail stores, this is when they go from going from the red to the black. Most, big organizations, big stores, even Target, right? They kind of operate like in the red most of the year. And then it's these last 3 months that makes them go into the black because everybody's shopping, right? This is a big, wonderful, exciting time of the year. And so this is where you want to think big. So what are going to be your Q2 in a sense, right? We're in the second quarter of our Mary Kay fiscal year, which was September 16th through December 15th. What's going to be your sales goal? What do you want your personal holiday experience to be like? Because you're using your business to bless your family, right? You're using it to give them an amazing holiday experience. Maybe it's to go on a trip. Maybe it's to purchase something. Maybe it's just to be together. Maybe it's to say, you know what, I just want to love on, 10 women a month. That could be an amazing goal, depending on where you are in your business. But maybe it is, you know what, I need to make $10,000. And I know some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, could I do that? Yes, you absolutely could, but you have to plan for it, right? So this is where you want to think big. Now, for me personally, I'm going to share with you girls that my husband is turning 50 and he wants to go on a 7-day cruise. Now, a 7-day cruise is not cheap. And of course, turning 50, he's like, we're just gonna do it all. So I'm like, okay, we gotta like this is a chunk of change. And that's why I'm like, I'm gonna contribute to this. And so that's what our focus is going to be. Okay. So the second part of the goals is you're going to be offering personal and corporate gift giving services. Okay. Again, think bigger if your goal is bigger, right? And also, we're going to be building on our repeat business with our clients through the PCP program. And we're going to talk about that because we have a winter catalog that comes out in November, which is kind of like a second holiday catalog. I know some of the stuff that's coming out and it's going to be really awesome. So it is not just a one-time, oh, something's popping up on my screen. Hopefully it's not the black, screen of death. Do you guys see that? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, awesome. So let's jump into October. Okay, so what are you going to do now? Okay. So the theme for October is get ahead of the holidays. That's our theme. we're preparing and we are prepping. Okay. So this has to deal with all of your timelines, your schedule. When are you having a holiday open house? Something that that I shared in our Powerhouse Facebook group is a video where a gal talks about choosing 6 products and making your bundles off of those. And it really helps us to narrow our focus versus the entire catalog. You do not have to wrap up every single item in the catalog. Okay, that would be like crazy town. So pick 6. That's the idea right now, because once you focus on what's going to be my 6 products, then you can go into your holiday inventory. What do I need to purchase? Okay, because you don't need 12 of everything in the catalog. You don't, but you're going to need 12 or 6 of certain things. Okay, so you want to decide, and I'm going to go through some of those in a little bit, but you want to focus kind of in October. We're focusing, okay, what's going to be my holiday open house timeline? What are my dates going to be? When am I going to be offering holiday coffees? All these different things that we can do. What's my schedule like? And we have to do it now because, especially for those of us with kids in the home, you still have lots of other things on the calendar, right? If you work another job, you have lots of other things on the calendar. If you have a spouse who's working, they have things on the calendar and family things. So you want to take a look at your calendar for the next 3 months to say, okay, this is when I'm holding my events. Okay. So that's a huge part of October. I already know my open house. I'm getting my invites ready to go next week. So that's a big deal, but I couldn't do that if I didn't know what my dates are. So I urge you tonight, if you do nothing else before you go to bed, pick the date for your holiday open house. Even if your holiday open house is for a couple hours at a Panera. Yes, you don't have to have it in your house, depending on your situation. You could have it at a friend's house, right? There's lots of ways to do it, but I really believe that you need to be in front of people with the product. Now, we can also do virtual open houses. Again, you have to know your dates. So you can't go to bed tonight before you know the dates. Okay. So number 1, you got to know your dates. The other thing is you got to figure out your pick 6, and we're going to get more into that. Also in October, for those of you that this makes sense, it might not for every person, but begin your corporate gift giving outreach. And I'm going to get more into what that is. So corporate gift giving is to think, okay, I don't want to just sell to my clients on my catalog list, but I need to be the gift guru for all the people in my town. You want to be the go-to gift person, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more about what does that mean. So this really is kind of what's happening in October. Also, what's also happening, we got trick or treat coming up. So I always love to have some boo bags in my purse. What's a boo bag? I wish I would have grabbed it right here. Basically, it's just a little sample bag, maybe with a hard piece of candy that's not going to melt. I also have some scratch off coupons in there that I picked up. But it really is something where you're just going to be able to bless someone when you're out and about, right? Getting the word out. Who are you? And you're open for business. So this is a great time. I'll have to post a picture. I even picked up, like at Goodwill, this cute little trick or treat felt bag for $1. And so I've been like carrying it on my wrist. Like wherever I go, I'm like, oh, trick or treat. And people are like, oh my gosh, trick or treat. They're so excited for trick or treat. Because, the women, we get kind of, forgotten sometimes. The other big thing that I forgot to put on this list in October is you have to keep seeing your skincare people. You still want to be hosting and holding your skincare parties, your skincare, your facials, all of that kind of thing. So that's really, really important. Okay. Is there anything else for October that you gals have done or you're thinking of that we might want to put on this list? Feel free to come off mute and share or put it in the chat.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah, Terry.
Oh, you can go, Terry.
I was just gonna say, adding on to Julie's trick or treat food bags. So I do that every year and I hand those out, to people like my blessing bags. But also on Halloween, I set up a little table and I hand out the all the moms that are coming to trick or treat with their kids. And I get my name out to everybody in the neighborhood that way, as well. So, and that's always been fun. Meet a lot of
Love
people.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lacey?
Yeah. I was just going to share that this is the first year I'm going to do this. And to be honest, I haven't really set it up with a couple clinics yet, but so our big tech week is next week. So tech week is a big thing for me because I really value my technicians. So veterinary technician week is next week. And so I am planning on at least my own clinic, but then I'm going to contact a few of my other clinics that I used to work at, and just bring in just some like satin hands and satin lips, and a few things just for them to kind of just try and pamper them. And so I got this actually idea from someone in another group, and she had just mentioned, I think it was, I don't know if it was some holiday thing I was listening to, but she had just mentioned she does it for, I think, I don't know, teachers and whatever else, but I'm like, why can't I do it for vet techs? And so, and she'll have like a gift, they can do like a raffle, and then you'll get their information that way and stuff. So, so that's what I'm planning on doing next week, for them. So.
That's awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
They're gonna love that, Lacey. That's a great idea. For me, I've been doing the Pick Six for about 5 years now, and it really does help you focus on the key items. It really has been more of a game changer for me, because with those 6, so you end up having 36 wrapped, right? And let's say you don't sell all 36. Every time you have a facial, you have them already made and set up, and that's kind of like an upsell that you can do as well. So, and also once I do my open house, if I have any that are left, I do stop and shops. I just pack my car with them and do stop and shops. So,
yeah. Awesome.
Can you explain that a little bit more, that Pick Six?
okay, so Julie, and tonight is Julie's night. So Julie, you want to explain it, okay? So you choose 6 of the key gifts that you're going to highlight. I know Julie already has some of hers done. She's doing like a cute little mini suitcase. I always do like the footy socks will be one. This year I'm doing an eye brush with the little thing that you pad under, something cute that I just picked up. So you choose 6 key gifts that you're going to highlight as like your holiday specials. And those, people are going to stock up. If you're doing any sales, they're already going to stock up on like skincare, different things like that. So this really is more the and then some, in my opinion. And that way I'm able to like wrap one and just duplicate that. So it doesn't take as long, instead of like, oh, I have this. Oh, I still have some of that. You know exactly what you are wrapping. It just helps you focus, in my opinion. And they're all different price points. Like you can do one that's $15. You can do one that's $75. You can do whatever you like, but I only choose 6.
Yep. That's awesome. There's a really great training video that I posted in the Powerhouse group, and I'll make sure that we attach it to this recording too. Her name is Wendy Coffey, and she goes through her Pick 6, and her video is amazing. So I'll be sure to share that with you guys so that she really goes through the details of what she does. But it's, again, just really helps us to focus, because the catalog is huge, right? And to try to think of ways to wrap everything, right? That's not the goal. So we want to really focus on those things that we can maximize our sales and our bundles, in a sense. Awesome. Okay, so let's go into November. So November is all about selling and serving. And so our theme for November is going to be your holiday beauty boutique or your open house. Okay. People are ready to shop for the holidays a lot after Halloween. So again, you can also do it in December. We're going to talk about that. So you want to have some kind of a holiday open house. And you want to make it accessible to people. I've been watching a lot of great videos and training in the last couple of weeks. And one gal said, you know, if I'm only offering it from 9 to 12 on a Saturday morning, I'm really cutting people out. So you can have small windows, but maybe you're going to have a Saturday morning from 9 to 12, and then you're going to have a Monday from 3 to 7, right? So that there's time when people are after work, because maybe they're saying to themselves, I can't come on a Saturday morning because my kid has soccer or whatever, right? So you want to have a number of options for people to come to. Just like Target, right? You've got to make yourself accessible. Again, you're going to promote those gift sets and the bundles, your pick 6. Okay. That's what you're going to really be featuring at your open house. Of course, you can have all your other products set out. But you want to, again, really focus on that. Pink weekend in November. I know this is always something that kind of gets us like hot, because you do not want to give away your money, girls. If you do a holiday open house where you have some great deals, you do not have to do anything on Pink Weekend, right? The Black Friday, which we call now Pink Friday, or Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, Pink Cyber Monday. You don't have to do all of those things, okay? You can call it Pink Weekend. Maybe you're going to do your open house on that weekend, if that works for you in your schedule with your family. But just choose one focus. So I know for me specifically, I have my holiday open house weekend of November 14th. I am doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this year. And then I'm also on the Pink Weekend. I just kind of call it Pink Weekend, and I just have like one little deal. And I don't focus on big sales or discounts, because for me, something I've built into my customers over the years is that in March, I always do a big March Madness discount sale. And that's all done online with my website. So I don't even have to see them. I just take orders in my pajamas on a Saturday morning with my cup of coffee. But for my open house, this is where I want to really maximize the gift giving, getting in front of them. We're having fun. So, and I also give them, you know, deals for bringing friends with them, shopping as well. So I'm going to probably do a separate open house video, because there is so much to talk about with an open house. But again, November, that's what's on your calendar, is going to be your open house, if that works for you. Again, corporate gift giving, if you have gone ahead and, you know, made some connections with certain businesses, this is where you're going to be following up on exactly what bundles, how many of each, when should they be delivered, and all of those logistics. And we are coming out with our winter PCP. So the PCP, Preferred Customer Program, right? Basically, it's our catalog, right, that we're coming back out in November with the next one. And there's amazing stuff that's going to be in there. So you have another reason, even after your open house, if you're doing it earlier, you have another reason to get in touch with people. Okay. Or maybe you could, if you're doing your PCP, you're doing your open house, maybe later you could say, oh my gosh, bring your catalog with you for an extra special gift. Right? You could have some kind of fun connection with the catalog. But in November, this is kind of our big timeline of what we're doing. Does anybody have any other thoughts for November? Things you've done? You know, anything else that you want to kind of share with the group for November? Okay. All right. Awesome. Perfect. Another thing I did not put on here, but something I do at my holiday open house, is I do have a little table with Thanksgiving hostess gifts. So I have things wrapped more of a Thanksgiving theme and colors. So if they're going to someone's house, I'm letting them know, hey, it'd be good to bring her a gift. Or, you know, somebody at work or something like that. So that could be another little thing to really touch on with Thanksgiving. Okay, so December, right? This is we deliver and we delight everybody. There are more things we can do. We're going to wrap up the year with beauty. So that's our theme for December. And I am personally going to offer more open house time slots. So depending on how things go in November, I have kind of my like backup plan, my secondary dates for people that weren't able to come, or maybe more people I'm going to meet, because I want to get them in front of the product. Something that I learned in this training I took, her name is Andrea Peters, and I'll be sure to post that video. is, can you guys hear my kids in the background? Maybe that's just me. Is she talks about having 2 invite lists for your open house. Number 1, it's everybody who's on your preferred customer list. It's people you're sending out your catalog to. It's people that are already on the products. They're already clients of yours. You already, you're in front of them on your Facebook groups. It's all the people that already are connected to you for Mary Kay. And then number 2, it's everybody else you know on the planet. And so that could be, teachers, coaches, piano teachers, right? Music teachers. Maybe it's your neighbors. Maybe it's somebody that you met on the bleachers somewhere. Maybe it's somebody in a networking group, right? They haven't yet become your customer. And so you want to think of your open house as not a Mary Kay open house, but it's Julie's open house. So I'm switching. One thing I'm really switching in my brain is I'm calling it Julie's open house. I'm not calling it Julie's 15th annual Mary Kay open house. And here's why. And I never thought this, but this gal, Andrea, she said, when you put the words Mary Kay in the title, she might think, oh, I don't need a lipstick. I don't need to go. And I never thought that, right? Because I know I'm going to have lots of other things, but to someone else, they might not make that connection. So I'm just calling it Julie's open house. And then, of course, going to have all my Mary Kay gifts, right? But that was just a little bit of a change. And so I want to make sure that as I continue to make connections and see people at vendor events, that I have more time slots in December. Because I don't know about you, but I am more of a late gift giver. I think more about, because I have a business probably, I don't think about buying gifts for people until December. Is anybody else in that boat, or am I the only one? Veronica's probably done. She's probably like, I don't even need to go anywhere. I don't need deals and steals. I'm already done.
I am done, but I use December to hit up men.
Okay, write that down, girls. That's not on my list. December is for the men. Or people like Julie. I love that. Yes. It could be things like the 12 days of Christmas or the 8 nights of Hanukkah, right? Some of us have some themed ideas that we give for people's gifts. Again, deliveries happening, wrapping's happening. If you've got corporate gifts, right, you're doing a lot of that. Year-end thank you notes to all your clients. I think that's really, really important. And then again, you could be hosting, right? We're going to continue selling skincare. We're going to still have our skincare and facial sessions. And so I love having this, we're called the skincare reset, right? And again, a lot of people's skin is changing, right? In the winter months, we're changing from what we were in the summer. So there's, again, lots of reasons to get together with people. So anybody else have thoughts for December? Things I didn't put on the list or things that you've done, little ideas? Okay.
Sing every song.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So this is my open house invitation for the year. You guys can tell me what you think. If you want the Canva link, I'll send it to you. You can plug in your information. I am falling in love with ChatGPT, and that's another topic for another day. But this is what I'm calling it. Julie's open house, my address, here are my time slots, right? Okay. Deals, steals, ready wrapped gifts, beauty bar. Bring a friend who does not have a Mary Kay consultant, and you both will receive an extra 5% off your orders. And then gift bar with pre-wrapped sets, hands-on product stations, lip and look stations, build your own gift bag, wish list tree. This is something new I'm doing. I've never done this, you guys. I'm going to have a raffle basket where for every $50 they spend, or a booking that's made, they get to have their name in the drawing. I have no idea yet what the prize is for. I have no idea. Okay, I'll figure that out. I don't need to know it until the day of. Now, maybe that's not true. Maybe I need to have it ahead of time so I can be promoting the raffle. But I don't know it yet. I'll figure it out. But that's something new. And then, of course, my contact information. So I am going to be getting this out. You want your holiday invitations, these open house invitations, to go out in the mail about 4 to 6 weeks before your event. Okay. You want to give the postal service a week to get them to people, just for whatever reason, right? And I am sending this as an actual in the mail letter is how this is going out. Okay. Because I'm going to be including some pre-order slips for the first time. And again, I'll talk more about that at another training. You know, you don't need to be here till midnight with me about open houses. You guys can tell I love the open house. I love it. So I can send that out. So corporate gift giving, here's some ideas. The idea with corporate gift giving is you want to go to people who have to get gifts for large numbers of people. And a large number could even just be 5 people. Okay. I have gone to school administrators a lot over the years to say, hey, let me take this off your plate, especially if they are male administrators. That's just the way it is. And say, I would love to connect with you. So what I do is I start by picking up the phone and I will call them and I will say, you know, hey, this is Julie Osterhaus, and I would love to share with you my gift giving services this year. Could I set an appointment with you to just show you what I offer? Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing is setting up the appointment where I can take in my prototypes, my 2 or 3 or 4 items at different price points. They can see it, they can see me, we can talk about it, and then they can decide yes or no. Okay, but I need to make the appointments so that I can get in front of them. Again, it could be realtors, salons that obviously don't have makeup or skincare, insurance agents, bankers. Put in the chat. Who else can you guys think of that could be part of corporate gift giving? Maybe your dentist. I know Terry does that a lot. And then again, you want to have price points that are varied, right? And you can even offer a bulk discount. I've done that with school administrators because a school administrator, their budget for gifts is very small compared to maybe a banker or somebody at a big insurance agency. So you can do some bulk discounts. You know, they order so many, they're going to get it for this price. Obviously, you're going to be offering the wrapping, the delivery, thank you cards. You are doing the big shebang. Now, in those prices, you are including the wrapping. You're not giving that stuff away, you guys. And that's the same for even your own clients. You're not giving that stuff away. So again, you're going to schedule those quick 15-minute presentations where you can pop in and say, this is what I have to offer, and then go from there. Questions or thoughts on this?
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the delivering samples and order forms. Are you talking about like if we give a catalog to a business and let them order it, or what are you?
So what I mean by that is that would be, right. So you could, this would be kind of like with the boo bags, you know, for trick or treat, if you're walking around and giving samples to people. Order forms. So something that I heard from a gal in a recent training is that for her open house, she actually has people pre-order as much as they know. And so this again could be kind of that secondary list of people that you're inviting to get in front of to say, hey, this is what I have to offer, and letting them know ahead of time. You can even, in a virtual sense, you can have your order form be a Google Doc. And so you're sending it out to people so that you can prepare for what people want. And again, that could also be with the corporate gift giving, right? You're going to have some kind of a form so that if they say, yes, I would love to work with you, right? Or they might say, I'm not sure yet, I got to get back to you. They might not be the person to decide. They might have to run it through an HR or somebody who else is in charge of the budget. So then you want to be sure that you have something, some kind of paperwork to leave with them. And I have copies of this kind of stuff that I can send out to you too. So if this is something you want to get into, let me know. I can definitely share documents and like a little corporate gift giving letter that I have. Because some people might not be able to make the decision on the spot. You know, they might have to get back to you. So you want them to have something that they can go to their other person with. Does that answer your question? Okay. Awesome. Anybody else? Okay, cool. So let's get into packaging a little bit. I'm actually going to stop sharing. So something I learned in one of my recent trainings is that we need to take up, we need to think of ourselves as a much higher step up than we might think. I know over the years, and I can show you guys pictures of all these things, but over the years, I started with my open house and my clients. I used to be wrapping things in really cutesy ways, right? And people want cute for about 10% of the people on their list. But I want a woman to come to my open house and I want her to shop for everyone on her list, right? For the gals that she's going to go out and have lunch with, for the person who works in the cubicle next to her. And if I'm only offering cute, she's not going to buy for those other people. So something I have started doing is wrapping ready to go things. So this is my basket of satin hands, the hand cream. So what I started doing is just wrapping in lots of different ways. This is actually one for a man. It's what the paper is actually, I have piles of scrapbook paper, which is very thick. And so I've just made little, and I can go through this again. I don't have to go through all the details. But what this does is somebody can come into my open house and she can say, oh my gosh, that looks like a man, right? The ribbon has mustaches on it. It's brown and tan, right? It's ready to go. She can take this and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to get that for my boss. I'm going to get that for my uncle. I'm going to get that for whoever. Take it and put it under the tree or put it in the stocking, or she can take it to the lunch and hand it to someone because it's already done. She doesn't have to do anything with it. And that's when I think of myself, I want someone to do the work for me, right? And that's what we want. We want our clients coming to us because they know, oh my gosh, Julie's going to take care of everything for me. And she's going to have stuff for whatever their style is. So I do have some fall and Halloween events I'm doing. So I have some things wrapped up in that kind of a theme. And then I just put an emery board for the ones for the women. And on the back, I just, with a marker, I just put like WT for white tea and citrus. So I know what scent is inside. This one, obviously for the man, it's fragrance free, but I also just put on the back FF for fragrance free. So when they come up to me, they know, obviously they can pick their scent. Some of them are just kind of cutesy. I've got all different kinds. Here's some snowflakes, right? So again, this allows someone to be able to come and say, it's professional, it's wrapped nicely, it's already done for me, I don't have to do the work. So hand cream is going to be one of my 6. And our hand creams now are 14, so I'm charging $15. And on the inside of here, what I did is I actually took the hand cream and I wrapped it up in tissue paper as well, and then stuck it into my little, basically these are like pillow boxes that I just made out of the scrapbook paper. Okay. So it's, again, I'm not just going to sit there and say, okay, now you got to go figure out how to do this. Here's another one of my 6. So popcorn, I am, I love going to Goodwill and thrift stores. So I found like stacks of these, a set of 3 for $1. These are plastic. And what I did is I've wrapped up in tissue paper so they can't see it, right? What it is it's a charcoal mask with an applicator, a microwave popcorn, and theater candy. So it's a box of like theater candy from the dollar store. And so they could see it and say, oh my gosh, my friend does love popcorn, but it's ready to go. It doesn't have the products showing, but what I'm going to be doing on my displays is that one of them will obviously be open so they can see what's inside of it, and then they can take it already wrapped. Okay, so this will be a little bit higher. This will be a $45 gift because of what's inside of it. But I've just kind of elevated the idea to not just be cutesy, but to be a ready to go kind of a gift. And you don't know what's inside. So you could put this under a tree. You could put this, you could give it to someone and they don't really know. So that's the idea with the packaging is you want it to be ready to go. I've also wrapped in a box, like for real under the tree, satin hand sets. This picture here is a box that I've wrapped with the spatula because also inside of there is a cookie mix. And so that's a $45 gift, but I've wrapped some in the boxes because people travel for the holidays, right? And this way they could put it in their trunk and it's going to survive the trip. Okay. You can see here one of the pictures where I have the actual scents of the hand creams for people to sample and try, and then they're wrapped in the basket. Okay. My popcorn, and then here's my little suitcase. I'm so these suitcases are so darling. They come in all different sizes. You guys have probably seen these like all over the Mary Kay world. This one has the travel size skincare in it, and I'm also going to do some with the satin lips as well. So that's my cutesy, right? They're going to see what's inside of it. You can throw some candy in there, some, fluffy shred or whatever. So you can have some cutesy things, but then you also want things that are already wrapped. Okay. And then finally, just kind of to recap our timeline. So October is all about prep and marketing, right? Getting the word out, all of our communications. November is having our events, all the gift orders, December delivery and customer care. So we have it, girls. That's an overview. Again, there's so many things you could do at the holidays. For those of us who've been in the business, you've heard of holiday coffees. The trunk, shop in the trunks. I know where Micah does that. She drives to places and opens up her trunk and it's decorated beautifully with all of her products. So there's so many ways to get our products in front of people. But I wanted to give you this overview because the first thing you have to do is pick your dates. You have to pick your 6 and you need to order your inventory. That has to happen right now, especially if some of the things you're doing are limited edition, which I have wrapped up the lip balms in some really cute ways, and those are going to sell out. The Mint Bliss with the socks will sell out. And I did wrap those in some larger ones of these. I actually wrapped the Mint Bliss with the socks the same type of way so that they're ready to go as well. So questions, comments, anything else you guys wanted to debrief? Anything that we talked about so far tonight? I know your brain is probably spinning because there's just so much to think about, right? Terry.
So, I'm trying to think of what my substitute, and I know what kind of things I want that to be part of the 6. But I also want to incorporate some of the new limited edition stuff too. Like I'm definitely doing Mint Bliss, the hand cream, I do a lot of that. I do a lot of masks, so that is really good. I do a lot of the under eye patches, the hydrogel eye patches, and but I would like to do lipstick, lip gloss, lip balm. Is that category of the 6? And it could be anything. Like, how do I get? I don't know how to pare it down to 6.
Yeah. Now, I know this is the hard part, but that doesn't mean you can't sell the other things, right? Yeah. So one year I did a stuff your own stocking station at my open house.
I do that.
Where I had a bunch of cute little stockings and they were different colors and I just picked them up all over the place, right? And then they could stuff their own glamour items. So if they wanted the lip balm, they wanted the mascara, they wanted the hand, that they could make their own little thing. I even did that with the masking minis that we had one year where they could, pick and choose masking minis. So that's the way that I kind of got into that. So I would have called that one of my 6 was a stuff your own stocking station. But the idea of the pick 6 is that you really are getting things wrapped, ready to go, so that you can just hand it to them and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Now what you could do, again, there are lots of different sizes of those like little suitcases. So you could do a taller one that can fit a lip gloss and a mascara. And you just pick, we know, like for instance, the Ultimate or the Great Heights and a Fancy Nancy, everyone loves it. Just do all Fancy Nancy or just do Sheer Illusions because it's going to look great on anybody's color. Whatever lipstick they put on, they can just add a little sparkle, right? And so maybe that's what you're going to call it, right? A touch of sparkle that just came out. Somebody write that down. So maybe it's a Sheer Illusions lip gloss with a light beam eyeshadow, right? That's a quick glam. With the mascara. So you could make suitcases, or again, you could wrap them ready to go like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you get those? Did you get them on Amazon, those little suitcases? Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Awesome. Any other questions or thoughts? And then we need to do our drawing. I want to do the drawing live right now because we're doing the consultant drawings at every single time. We've got Lacey, Claudia, Carrie, and Terry. They're going to be so happy you're on. Your names are in here and I'm shuffling you up. It's all legit. No cheating. Carrie!
Oh,
Yay!
Okay, did you want the pens?
Yes, please.
Girl, it's coming your way. All right. Yes. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but if you guys have more questions, feel free to stay on.